Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Green Room. And we have Barry, Duncan, and Kelly. How are you all doing? Have you had a great week? How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good. I'll jump in first this week. We always have that awkward silence at the start. You ask that question and everybody's like, oh, should I go? Should I not go? I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm doing good.
That's great. That's great. How are you, Kelly?
I'm doing great. Have a good week.
That's good. That's great. And Duncan, you're playing, and how are you?
I am fine. I am now showing off. I have now got access, so I can play while I'm doing things now. So I'm just going to sit and play games. We all know what game I'm playing, or Happy worked out what game I'm playing.
Yeah.
But we're not going to say, just in case people want to guess during this.
Yep.
What game I'm playing.
So in chat, you can check it out. Try and find out what Duncan is playing. Barry, what have you been playing this week?
I have been playing. I delved back into It Takes Two at the weekend. So got another chapter down on that. Just kind of muddling the way through it. So I think there's 7 chapters in total for the game. Now on to chapter 4. So a lot of fun. Not any arguments as are coming through chapter 3, which surprised me. I thought that there was a couple of wobbly moments where kind of the wife was kind of looking at me like, "Don't get mad at me. I'll put the controller down if you're going to get mad." And I was like, "No, I'm good." So I've been playing that. Put some more time in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Did a little bit more of Outriders. Stuck on a certain point, so I'm trying to, I keep trying to get past it, and it's really doing my head in. So I keep stepping away and then kind of jumping back in. And then the only other thing I've been doing is just getting some practice in on pairs so that I can schedule a rematch with Duncan.
Okay, that sounds interesting. Kelly, what have you been playing this?
I have been playing Sea of Thieves with Duncan and Harry, and I have also been playing Fortnite. But I've also had to play Fortnite for Duncan because Duncan doesn't like to level up, and he bought the battle pass. And what's the point of buying the battle pass if you're not going to level up? So I've had to do it for him.
I'm not good at Fortnite, so I usually buy stuff and I can't play it because I don't have time to play it, or I can't play the game. So Duncan, I know you're playing a game now, but what else have you been playing this week?
I have been playing some Sea of Thieves with Kelly. We did our first super duper quest on Sea of Thieves. What was it called again? I just
something about the man in the bar.
Yes, the mysterious stranger, the big, massive quest, which took us about 2 or 3 hours to do, didn't it? And we just got sucked into that. It was absolutely a load of fun, as I've been demonstrating here. And maybe me and Barry can actually have a wee talk about this shortly. I've got finally access to the xCloud beta thing, and I have been really, really impressed with it and how it is behaving. So I played a couple of games there. I want to play some more MLB the Show. I did a quick demo of that, and what else have I been playing on Xbox? It's basically been Sea of Thieves, and that has been about it because I've been playing on other things at this moment in time. But Sea of Thieves, I can't believe the difference in that game now. It is just completely and utterly different now, and it is such an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, and they have just been saying also they're going to add so much. There is no end to what they want to do with the game. So it's really exciting time for Sea of Thieves. So you haven't played it? Go check it out. That is a really fun game. I also been playing Sea of Thieves. I always go out and I fall off the ship, or someone steals my ship. So I've been just going get a chest, go back to the outpost, go out again. So it's been really time consuming doing that. So I really enjoy it. What else have I been playing? Yes, today I played second Extinction, and I have a little reaction of that video. You can go check that out also if you want to. It is quite interesting.
What were your thoughts on it, Happy?
I really was surprised in a way what the game was all about.
Did you play the tutorial?
I played a little bit from in the start of the game and tried to play a little bit of it. I was
Did you just go straight in, or did you do the training?
I did not do any training. It just went straight into the gameplay. So I should go into. Yeah, I'm like a man. I don't go and read the instruction, you know.
No man reads the instructions. That's not what we do.
No, we just go in.
That's why we get so much wrong. Is that not right,
Yeah.
Ellie?
Yeah. So
nothing.
I also played a little bit Destroy All Humans today. That's also really, really fun game. It's just a it is not a relaxing game, but it's just fun. It's just not serious in a way. It's just all fun. And what else have I been playing? I've been just jumping around all sorts of games. That's what is so beautiful with Game Pass Ultimate. You just go in and play some games and jump out. It is a little stressful also because you have so many games you want to play in so little time. So yeah, I really, really enjoy that. I want to just say there is in May, there's coming some new Game of Gold. That is actually Dungeon Tree. It is also Lego Batman, and it is Tropical 4. And wasn't there one more? When was it? How do you spell it? Armello?
Yeah.
Yes. So that's the game. And yeah. So yeah. There's also come out a new season of Fallout 76. There's some added stuff there. You can go check out. There's a lot of more build. You can build more stuff. I think you can have 2 camps now in their stuff, but like that.
Yeah, Happy. What's your thoughts of the Games of Gold there?
I really enjoy Lego. So Lego Batman is a great game, but I played a little bit before. But I don't know. I am not that much of the games I'm gonna play. Maybe Tropical 4 is one that I can go in check a little bit out. I have some history with those games, but there's so many other games I want to play than on the Game Pass Ultimate. So, what do you think, Duncan, about the games?
I think I know there has been a lot of stick out there for the Games for Gold for a long, long time. I was actually speaking to Barry about this just before, and I think it wasn't everybody is ripping it to shreds. I don't think it was that bad of a month. I thought it wasn't a great month either. I thought it was a meh sort of month. It's a better month for me than it has been for a long time because there's games where I would actually play. Dungeons Free, for people who haven't picked that up, go check that out. It is actually not that bad of a game. Lego Batman, as people have said, is Lego Batman, so it's a Lego game, and you'll have a bit of fun. And Tropicano, I'm calling it Tropicano. Tropicano isn't a oh my god, this is absolutely awful, but it isn't absolutely brilliant. It's just yeah. It's just
it is like that.
Again, it's not that bad of a month, but it's not a great month, but it's not a complete write-off. But I'll still say what I have been saying for a while. I think they do need to scrap it.
Yeah,
and just chuck them games into Game Pass instead, and it will boost them out more. But again.
How long do you think they're gonna hold on to this Game of Gold? I think there have to be a little bit change in direction in this in a couple of. Do you think it's gonna be years or months before they chucked it down and put it into Game Pass?
I think we're talking months. I think we've already seen the groundwork of that happening at the moment with the removal of multiplayer requirement for games with Xbox Live. So I think we're going to see that maybe start to go away slightly, and we may see an announcement in a couple of months at E3. That's just over a month away, month and a half away,
Yes.
and we will find out there.
Yeah. What do you think, Kelly, about this? Do you think it's going to go away?
I have no idea if it's going to go away.
Okay.
I go on to Game Pass. That's about it. I don't even look at the games of gold no more.
Barry,
I think that I think Kelly said, what Kelly's just said there. I think is exactly what a lot of people are doing. I don't even go on to that anymore. I mean, the first thing I will say is Andy. I know obviously you can't be with us this evening, but don't forget to claim them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, I think between Duncan and Kelly, they've kind of, I think they've said what needs to be said. The games aren't disastrous; they're not going to blow you away. But at the end of the day, it's a little added extra. But I think as we've all said equally when we had that big discussion on it a few weeks back, just bung it into Game Pass, I should say. I was going to call it X Pass then.
X Pass. Maybe it will in the future. Maybe it's going to be that in the future. We never know. So I think it's going to be just be going away soon. I think it's maybe there an announcement and EA or stuff like that it's going to be going away, and you can have some deals to get people over to the Game Pass Ultimate or Game Pass to some sort of way. I don't know how they're going to do it, but it's definitely not going to be there because it is so many other games you can get with Xbox Game Pass. So like I said, there's also an update to Fallout 76, a lot of stuff there, a lot of bug fixes, and go check it out. There's a blog post on that on Fallout 76 if you're into that game. So I think there was some announcement also today. It is an obvious thing that Xbox has this, but Halo's getting crossplay and cross progression save. So that is a really nice thing, Kelly, don't you think?
Yep. So it means if I get on my PC, if I ever get on my PC, that I can just pick up Halo.
Yeah, you can pick it up.
It'll be really, really cool.
Yeah.
Not that I get on my PC because everybody else does.
But you can have it on a cloud.
I was just going to say, would you still play it on your PC or would you just jump into the cloud and play it?
Well, I don't have the cloud yet.
Shocking. Sort that out.
It is shocking.
So, yeah.
We can't have that.
No. So, is there anything else you guys want to talk about this?
Yeah, I think it's actually really, really great news, but there's actually more going on there than you just think. People are just going to see the headline that there's going to be cross-play between PC and Xbox and cross-progression. The cross-progression, I think you can just separate that off, and that is absolutely a great thing. But the cross-play with the PC, that is something just to keep an eye on, because if you're a semi-decent person on a mouse and keyboard will wipe the floor with the majority of people who play with a controller. And that is something I'm assuming they're going to say you can just skip that part and you can just play with Xbox people or you can just play with PC people. But that is something to just keep an eye on going forward. That I'll just put chat on because I'm a bit bright and stuff. If they're going to separate that off, because having a mouse and keyboard does give you a bit of an unfair advantage if you're good with the keyboard and mouse, just the way you can just go blah, 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 and things like that.
Yeah, I think also it's really, because now I've been playing Halo on a console before. And for me, that is really good. Really like playing with mouse and keyboard. It's a total different experience for me to play Halo with mouse and keyboard. It runs so fast and so quick response. It is totally different. So
the other thing that I would say as well is let's not forget, obviously, a very important point there is obviously Tom Warren's been doing demonstrations recently on the Xbox Series X with the keyboard and mouse support for the games that support it. So it may not necessarily be kind of one of those things that just it's literally you're playing on a Series X with a controller competing with PC gamers. What you might well find is you've got a keyboard and mouse plugged into the Series X, and you're then playing with the PC gamers as well, and you can kind of go full blow to blow with a PC and mouse experience.
Yeah, no, I think it's really exciting times we're in with this. We're gonna go a little bit further down, and we're gonna talk about some of the biggest news. Microsoft announced today that they will lower its Microsoft Store fees for PC game developer. Revenue will increase to 88% from 70%. This will happen in August 1st, and I think there's something behind this also. I think they're talking about upgrading their store. And Duncan, what? Barry.
Yes. I can talk about this. They're upgrading their store and all this. This is a very big and wide-ranging sort of thing. First of all, the top head of this blog post today was about their commitment to PC gaming going forward and how they're going to be supporting it. Tucked into this was they're changing their amount they're going to be charging to the store, which is 88% goes to developers now, and then 12% to the publisher, to Microsoft for holding the game. This is actually, there's a couple of layers to this. Firstly, this is just them trying to get more people to use the Microsoft Store, and by putting it by lowering the price, that's going to make it really attractive, and it's going to put it into the same sort of ballpark as the Epic Game Store. Added into this, as we know, Xbox has Xbox Game Pass for PC, so by putting that along with that, combining them two things, it makes the Game Store even more compelling. And thirdly, they're going to be redesigning the store, so it's going to be easier to get these PC games into the store. So there's so much going on here, and this could actually help Xbox as well to get some more of these PC sort of games on the Xbox, because if they put it onto the Microsoft Store, it'd be like, why don't you just chuck it on the Xbox Store as well? It is just trying to make the whole Xbox ecosystem look better. And this, again, there's another point to this, and that is Phil Spencer has also said that he's looking to bring PC games to xCloud as well. Mm-hmm. So there is just so much going on here with this single move, and I think it is going to pay dividends, maybe not this year or next year, but for the years down the line. This is an extreme long-term play, and hopefully we'll start reaping the rewards of this as both Xbox gamers and cloud gamers, and then hopefully in the next year or so.
Yeah. I'm just going to add a little bit just before I go to Barry. I see with the PC version of Game Pass Ultimate, you have mostly option to use the mouse and keyboard or a controller. So this will say that you can get even more games in a way onto xCloud in a way just with PC and mouse and controller. What do you guys think that is just going to happen soon over the summer, Barry?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a continual kind of build up, isn't it? That I think they're really. I mean, I think Duncan said everything there probably was to say, if I'm honest. But I think they really are trying to capture that whole kind of ethos of, we're going to give you multiple ways to play in our ecosystem. I'm sure we've talked about this in the past. Maybe, I don't think it was last week, maybe a couple of weeks ago. They're basically trying to, be that platform where you can kind of say, well, actually, come and play on our platform. However, It doesn't matter whether you're going to game on a PC, whether you're going to game in the cloud, whether you want to game on your phone, or whether you're going to game on a console. And I think that as approach from Microsoft is a great approach to have, because ultimately you never know where you're going to be when you want to play games. So the fact that it can be in your pocket, or you can attach your Kishi, log into a PC browser, whatever it is, you just want that freedom and that accessibility to do whatever you want and play by whatever medium. If you want to play, keyboard and mouse, play keyboard and mouse. If you want to play controller, whichever suits. We've all got preferences, but the option is there, and that's only a good thing.
Yeah. No, I have to agree. It's going to be a really great future with mouse and keyboard. I have to say I am much better with the mouse and keyboard than a controller, because I can play with the controller, but I don't feel the same responsiveness in a way. So I really, really enjoy that. And Xbox had this Microsoft strong Windows Q3. What did I say here? Wait. I need to check out there.
I think, are you talking about the stuff from
the hardware revenue?
Yeah.
The Q3 hardware revenue, and they had Xbox had 232% up in a way. It is crazy. It is what do you think about this? This thing, this insane.
The figures that came from that were absolutely astonishing. And then I think we were talking. I think we might have been talking about this in our when we played Rocket League the other night, because I think the earnings call kind of a lot of the information started to filter out when we were on playing Rocket League. And I think the Xbox revenue was something like 5 billion again, and it's just
it is insane.
It is, when you look at those. I mean, we were only talking last week about the fact that they've got 22 million subscribers to Game Pass. It's not difficult to see, when you tie in all of the services that they've got. It's not difficult to see how they're able to generate a massive amount of revenue. Which kind of just goes to show that the investments they're making are doing the right thing, because they're attracting people in their masses, and they've got a huge audience as a result of the move they're making.
Yeah,
and a lot of money that they can throw around and invest some more. So
yeah, and that's exactly that I was thinking. When they have this amount of money and Microsoft see how good Xbox do, they will still go out and invest in more companies, invest in more games. They are just getting go out and do whatever you want, because you are making us money. And that is so important. So Netflix for game is a bright future for Xbox. I don't see any issues there. So Duncan, your opinion on this?
Okay, context is all key here. When we're talking these figures, they are absolutely massive amounts of money. However, again, I try and do things down the line. They are dwarfed by PlayStation's. Microsoft are just in the acquisition of users at this moment in time, and they're just building out. And the really interesting thing here is that these numbers, which have been coming out, are without a major first-party game being released, and we're going to have to wait and see that. I have got high hopes of the new ones, and I think people, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to work this out. I think Halo this year is just going to be absolutely bananas. What the stats which have come out from the Halo sort of news, with 10 million people on PC trying Halo, and most of them are brand new people to the franchise. I think we are going to see that game absolutely blow up. And just because a game is on Game Pass doesn't mean it doesn't get bought. It does get bought on on top of that. And I have a feeling come September, October, November, whenever Halo releases, the servers are going to melt and everything is going to go down. Don't worry, Kelly, you'll be able to play it off. You'll be able to play the single player. I'm talking about the multiplayer servers. And I think we're going to just see how big Xbox has actually grown come this winter time when all the first party stuff starts to go, and then we're going to have the steady run of the new acquisitions, and then it's just going to blow up. These numbers for Game Pass are, as the wee joke goes, these are rookie numbers. Come later on this year, I think we're going to see it past 30 million, if not even higher, maybe into the 40 million. If they get this xCloud pushed out to no more markets, it could just explode. If they could get it into Brazil, like we know GFN are going into Brazil, it could be it's just going to be really, really interesting.
And I'm not going to talk about them that much, but I saw this news around Sony. They're going to just boost their way into cloud gaming. They were talking with the CEO about they're going to upgrade or do more in the cloud. And Sony has invested smart with their games because they just pushing out this AAA with AAA with AAA. And Xbox is starting to get a lot of good companies, and they have a lot of great games. Will Sony be a really hard competitor for Xbox in the future now, or do you think Xbox just gonna win? Go out there and just go for it and win.
Oh, they always are. I mean, we've come accustomed now to multiple generations of consoles where it's always been which one's better, which one should I have? Can I have both?
Yeah.
What are the benefits? They are, they're always going blow to blow, toe to toe with each other, trying to kind of get one up. And as we've seen in previous generations, sometimes there's a bit of a slow uptake on one, and then the other one catches on, and they kind of make different moves with it, which are unique to each other. But at the same time, whilst they're making unique moves, they also make moves that try and counteract the moves that the other people are making. I think ultimately we're here to enjoy it. And the more content we can consume, obviously the happier they're going to be because we're spending money with them. But ultimately that's, as gamers, that's what it's about. We want to be in a position where we can just sit and enjoy as much content as we can, realistically, regardless of the platform. It's okay to have an Xbox and have a PlayStation sat next to it. Yeah. Duncan does, Kelly does. There's plenty of people out there that do it purely because of the enjoyment that it brings, and that's what it should be about.
I totally agree. Well, yeah, Duncan.
It is foolish to write off PlayStation. I think extremely foolish to write off PlayStation. Xbox have set themselves up for being in a great place, but they have to actually follow through with it. They've got the studios. However, we're still waiting for another big smash out hit for Xbox. Yes, they've got Halo. Yes, they've got Forza, and they have Gears. If you compare it to PlayStation knock out 2 or 3 different series a year, and they are absolutely massive. So this year we're going to have God of War and Horizon on PlayStation 2, absolutely big, phenomenal games. And I think PlayStation have moved into the Nintendo realm for their big first-party games. By that I mean, if a 3D Mario comes out, it's going to be a great game. If a Mario Kart comes out, it is going to be a great game. PlayStation have moved into the territory when if it's a big game, it is going to play well and will be a great experience. Xbox are nowhere near that position yet. And if this is going to be a absolutely interesting ride, and just having the studios does not guarantee success, and chucking the money there does not guarantee success. I think Halo is going to be grand. I think that's going to be good. Forza is, for me, Forza is their only safe bet at this moment in time, where it is going to be great. Gears quality is improving all the time. It's going to be these other titles. Are we going to see off? I just went out from my head now. What's it?
Hellblade. No.
Hellblade.
Yeah.
Hellblade 2 could be the perfect test for them, along with I know Kelly loves this game already, but it's not in the same sort of quality as the PlayStation ones, like State of Decay. These are the two sort of titles where we're going to see our Xbox going to step up and actually start producing the real quality games, where they are possible Game of the Years and Game of the Generations, because that's the step that they are. They're producing good to maybe under lower great sort of games, but they're not bringing out Game of the Year sort of games, and that's where they need to push up to.
Not these big cinematic extreme games like Far Cry or I totally.
What they need is Last of Us. They need an Uncharted. They need a God of War. They need.
I said Far Cry, didn't I? I meant Uncharted.
Yeah. They need one of these games where it's going to draw people in and get the respect for the studios out there, because at this moment in time, you go over and look over the Game of the Years, and Xbox rarely get a mention. If they do get a mention at all, the games are not up there, and we really need to see if they're going to step up. The big adventure game market sort of draws people in, games which will win Game of the Year. Forza for me is an absolutely great game. Forza Horizon 4 is just absolutely phenomenal sort of game. But I just want to see the story-based games get the love they deserve. As Maker has said here, Ori did well. That's more second party. Flight Sim is more PC-based. I can't wait till that goes. I think we just really need to see, you know what I mean, a standout sort of game and not a multiplayer-focused game. A game with a good story and all that, and just to win Game of the Year. And Kelly's going, Duncan, you're an absolute mean bean.
I am not.
Yeah, I think we need these big triple. I think that maybe a couple of years down the road, they're starting to make. We're still waiting on the next generation games in a way, and the Xbox Game Pass. They're going out and buy deals to get into Game Pass to just have it active and like getting new games in, have a lot of fun there. But there is a rumor. There is rumors that Xbox is making another game, not only Indiana Jones from LucasArts, but another game. But they don't want to go out and say what it is still. So there is a rumor about a game that Xbox is making, and we don't know if it's true or not, but it's a rumor. For me, it's probably a Star Wars game. But Duncan, what do you think?
I have heard mumblings of this, but I think I wouldn't put too much into that at this moment in time. If it's a LucasArts game, I think Star Wars would probably be the safest, but I would be hesitant to say. I know that was from a number of weeks ago, and that has seemed to have calmed down, that sort of rumor. It doesn't seem to be sticking as much as the other ones go on, but I think Xbox are looking for their Spider-Man. They want something like a Spider-Man. I have a feeling it could be something else. I'm hearing some rumblings, but it may be completely false rumblings as well, that it could be Game of Thrones. Could be getting Xbox treatment. But yeah, that could be interesting. Again, these are all rumors and speculation.
Yeah, it is.
I think there's only a couple of ones which I would believe, and I think we're going to be touching on it shortly.
Yeah. So, Barry, you have something you want to say, or
what about the LucasArts?
Yes, yeah,
it's a tough one. I mean, your automatic logic goes Star Wars, but obviously, as we know, I think obviously Ubisoft are we're kind of bringing the next Star Wars title. So I'm not sure whether there's kind of any weight in that really. Yeah, I mean, beyond that, I think it's just a case of wait and see. I mean, as with all of these things, the hype builds, rumors circulate, it dies down, it might come back again, and that generally for me, I think a lot of the time, especially with some of the Xbox stuff, is maybe not just the Xbox stuff, but when you see the rumors floating around, the ones that don't go away are often the ones that are closer to the truth. So if it kind of dies a death, disappears, then you probably know that it was kind of a lukewarm idea and whatever, and there's not a lot to it. Whereas with those ones that keep coming back and keep rearing their head and kind of gaining traction, they're the ones that sometimes you kind of then have to kind of keep an eye on and kind of pay a little bit of attention to, because there generally is there's something about it.
Do you, Kelly, think there's a Star Wars game coming?
A Star Wars game?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of them games I don't actually play.
Okay.
So I don't.
That's good. Duncan, you want to talk about some rumors you was hinting at her?
Yeah, I think the one which we can be a bit more safer with is the Forza Horizon one, where it is going to Mexico. There seems to be a lot, as Barry was saying there's a lot of smoke with that one. And again, I would have preferred Japan, which was the other sort of rumor out there. So rumors are fun, and unfortunately, I think we're going to hear a lot, because it seems to be a lot of the Xbox guys in the know seem to be hinting at stuff. Jez Gordon or Bob just was hinting at a lot of stuff today. And it was Forza Horizon Mexico, Starfield, Halo Infinite. It looked like Ubisoft Plus again, but they're denying it was Ubisoft Plus. But I don't think it could be anything else that had the wee symbol with the plus beside it, and also a dragon game at the end. It was a dragon. I think we're going to hear a lot of the Xbox stuff before E3. And just because of the noises out there, I was a bit hesitant to say that Starfield was coming this year. I think it's coming this year now. I think the smoke is going there. The smoke is gathering up for Starfield, and I think that is going to do it. And the latest thing with Starfield is it is Xbox exclusive.
Yeah, I think also Starfield, like I said, I think it's going to come this year, because Bethesda is not like now they have another way to say it. They're saying this game is coming, and it's coming this year. They're showing off the game, and it's not that far away, because earlier it was like a couple of years to the game is coming out. But Barry, have you any opinion on anything of this?
I still think Starfield. Are we talking about Mexico?
Whatever.
Okay.
Whatever. I'm dabbling like.
I'll kill. I was going to say I'll kill off the Starfield one. You know what I mean. I'll go to that one first. I'm still going to maintain that I think it's 2022 as a title. For Starfield, I've got nothing to base that on other than sheer kind of gut feeling and kind of, I guess, aside of obviously what Maker's just said in the chat there, about hearing that it's almost finished. And I mean, it does say ready late to early next year. So late this year or early next year, I presume he means. My gut is early next year.
That was an old. When did they start making this game? Is it like 4 or 5 years before when they started on this game? If I'm not wrong. I might be wrong, but
I think it's been out for a while. But the thing about this is, even if it's early next year, can you just imagine this winter, early next year? You've got Halo. You're going to have at least one Forza. Or do you think we're going to get both? Do you think they'd be mad and drop both Forzas? Because we're hearing all this about Forza Mexico. We know that Forza Motorsport is actually in testing at the moment.
Yep.
Do we get both, or do they stagger them for like 6 months apart? Or
I mean, we did with the. I'm just trying to think. The last release between, I don't know. I reckon we might see them in quick succession. You know, I genuinely think we'll see both and quick succession. They might not obviously they're not going to hit in the same day, but I think what you'll see is you will see them in very close proximity to each other.
Like 6 months or something. I think maybe
even between the 3 to 6 months, possibly. I'd maybe say 3 months between them.
See, what I would really love is I would love them to make Forza in the cloud and just make a Forza cloud game, and then they could. So when I'm talking Forza, I'm talking Forza Horizon, and then they could just start it off in the UK or whatever. I'm just grabbing the UK as an example. Then they could make it expansion into Ireland and into France, and they just start adding countries so it becomes then the whole world. And I think that would be do a bit like a Flight Sim and just have this all just
saying that. Don't say that. Yeah,
just all spreading out. And this is what I'm really excited about for the cloud, no matter what platform, is just the potential there to just completely and utterly change games, where you could just start seeing that the games, instead of having to buy yearly franchises for these the racing games, they just expand the game out. You have to buy the expansions or something, but they just keep on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think that could be a real game changer. And I just this is one of the reasons I'm so excited about this.
Yeah, think about the war game in a way that you have different countries, and it's going to be like you can attack that country and the whole world in a way. It's gonna, or in MMO, it's just make the whole world in a way. That's so amazing. It is, the future is in the cloud, and I'm really excited for what we can do with the cloud. Yeah, so really exciting. So is there anything else we want to talk about? Do we want to talk about more JRPG coming to Xbox? Do we think they're going to come? Do you think they're going to get some more from Sega, or what do you guys think?
Okay, I'll kick this off. We are still waiting more Final Fantasies on the Game Pass. That is a start. I think one of the mic drop moments for Game Pass this year at E3. I'm assuming we're going to do an E3 prediction special, but I'll get my one out here early anyway. Final Fantasy VII Remake in the Game Pass day one on Xbox, and that's unless Sony has extended the exclusivity, but I haven't heard any rumblings of that. But that would be a prediction for me, is Final Fantasy VII straight into Game Pass day one, along with the rest of the Final Fantasies. Like Final Fantasy 13, I think the whole series is meant to be on Game Pass, still hasn't came yet. And it's just, there's just so many possibilities there. With Xbox seeming to be dropping the cash, remember we've just got Dragon Quest as well, and there's other games being rumored as well, and we're getting Dragon Quest Builders next week into Game Pass.
Yeah, that's next week.
I think the JRPG situation is improving, and if you're really, really wanting a JRPG on Xbox, I will give you 2 to play. The first one is Blue Dragon, you have to buy it, and the other one is Lost Odyssey 2. Absolutely amazing JRPGs.
Cool. Barry.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's it's growing steadily. There's we're talking about we've obviously just finished talking about kind of rumors and the impact they can have. Obviously, yes, last week we were talking about Square Enix, and we've also in previous episodes we've also been talking about how Sega are kind of splitting up their divisions and kind of what potentially could happen there. So I think that there's multiple possibilities out there.
Yeah, well, that was what. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
There's one thing that I feel that we've got to mention, purely because it came out today in terms of announcement, is the fact that FIFA 21 is going into EA Play as part of Game Pass on May the 6th.
Whoa, yeah.
So next,
that is a big one, actually.
Next Tuesday? Is it Tuesday? No, next
Thursday.
I'm all messed up with my days.
Me too.
Monday's a bank holiday. That's the 3rd.
Yes, it is.
You have a holiday?
Yeah.
Okay, lucky guys.
FIFA Go On is great news. Doesn't look like it is going to cloud, which is a disappointment. I wonder what is going on there. We used to get some cloud games from EA, which were part of Game Pass, and they seem to have stopped. Is there something going on? Has there been an agreement made somewhere and they can't go? Is there something else? I just find it very, very curious that there seems to be a lack of EA games going to the cloud. And we also have that other game which was announced this week is going to Game Pass day one from EA, the dodgeball game.
Knockout City
is going to Game Pass day one. And that's not going to cloud, which that's the one I was more shocked about not going to cloud.
Is it only go to console or is it PC also?
Console and PC, but it's not going to cloud. And I find that more interesting than the FIFA. I could sort of understand the FIFA with Stadia having FIFA. There might have been an agreement there, but Knockout City not going there. There's something getting.
Does it have something to do with their store in a way, with the EA store and with the PC connection?
I wouldn't think so. I'm wondering more, would it be they're going to be pushing their cloud offering and that might be a big E3 announcement or something. But I think this is something to keep an eye on with the EA games. Why aren't they going to cloud?
Maybe they're gonna put them on their own store, like you said, and have it on other like Game Pass, but only they have the store inside, like they have on the PC. Maybe.
And we've also got a few weeks back they had the patent, didn't they, for being able to play a game whilst it was downloading in the background. I think that also kind of. I mean, I don't know whether it gives you an insight into the, maybe the mindset as to whether, obviously we know EA will want to kind of push forward, but when you've got a patent to be able to then kind of play a game whilst it's kind of downloading, I don't know, is there something of that? Does that tie into Duncan's theory that they've got something to, to kind of announce and release to the world, about maybe something they want to do on their own? Who knows?
Yeah, maybe they're trying to do their own thing and to get it. But is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we say goodbye?
We've got plenty to talk about.
Yeah, let's go.
I think me and Barry can have a wee yarn here.
Yeah.
Grandest meeting.
Granda's meeting. Yes, do you want to, Kelly? Do you want to join in? No, sorry, you can't because we're talking about xCloud and our experiences of it for the last week.
Oh yes. Yeah, that's an important one.
For the last week, but you only got it like yesterday.
Yes, Barry's had it for a week. I've only had it a couple of days, but yes, I can talk about it.
You got it yesterday.
Yes,
so you're going to have a week's lunch talking about yesterday.
Yes.
Yes, this shall be good.
This shall be good. So
sorry, guys, I forgot to say that. You guys had that. No, you're lucky, guys.
Yes, there was something else in his slip. Oh, what happened to Kelly?
Kelly left.
She's had enough of the granddad meeting.
Yeah, I just heard her yell up the stairs. I think she accidentally had the wrong thing. But we can talk about this and wait for Kelly to come back.
Of course, we can.
So you've had it for about a week. Have you been playing a bit?
Yep, I've had the opportunity to kind of play it a little bit. Kind of try to balance it between, obviously, the actual console and the cloud. But I played Fractured Minds, obviously. So we did a little video on how to get 1,000 gamer score in, we'll say between 15 to 25 minutes because I think the experience varies. So check that one out if you want a really easy gamer score.
Yes. What did you think of the game? It was my recommendation for it. I didn't say it was a good game. I just said it was an 80,000 gamer score.
Yes, you did. Do you know what? I think credit where credit is due. I mean, I think you have to say that you have to encourage and applaud somebody having the confidence to go and put something like that together. And I think we have to look and think, well, actually, that came from a 17-year-old. Which was a BAFTA nominated and award-winning title, purely because of. I think it's very relevant to people and I think I said this at the end of the video. If you think of the age gap and some of the challenges, let's be honest, we're slightly older now. We haven't necessarily faced some of the challenges that our children are kind of having to kind of face right now because of social media and those sorts of things. So I think it was a really kind of a message of, to me, positive reinforcement. And I think if you think that, as I say, the fact that it came out of a 17-year-old's mind, there's obviously a good head, a mature head on those shoulders, and hopefully they can then kind of go on to continue to do more, and maybe they'll go on to have a really illustrious career in kind of game development. It was a great little title. I enjoyed it. It was a good recommendation, and I got 1,000 gamer score out of it at the end.
Yes, I said it.
Win.
I'll be frank. I want fair play to them for making it. I think it was absolutely brilliant that they've made it. I didn't like it at all. And it was one of these ones where I got the first achievement and I go, oh, pants, I'm going to have to get all of them now. So I just went and done it. I actually lucked out. There's one of the achievements where you can be lucky and get it straight away, or you have to sit about. And I lucked out and got it straight away. And literally, I just walked, oh, there's a person there. And just, I got it like that, literally straight away.
Not me. I was going up and down, up and down.
I watched that stream.
Yeah, and
that's why I put in the description. Like in chapter 4, it starts about here. You can skip to there to see when said event happens to get the hidden trophy. Sorry, Duncan, I cut you off there.
Yeah, no, but yeah, again, it's not a bad game. Half an hour, 1,000 gamer score, and that will get you your points for Xbox game, the Game Pass quests. Which again, I reiterate this: if you get enough of them, you can get your 3 months Game Pass. You can get 3 months. You can get your figures up to 6 months. You can get, depending on how much you can do. There's loads of ways to do that. It might be actually worth doing a video on that. Duncan, shut up. And I think we really need to get that out there as well, because I think a lot of people don't actually know about this, where you can actually get this, and it's not just the Game Pass quest. You can pick up money or points by doing other stuff, like using Bing as your web search. You can get a load of points built up like that to save your money, and if you buy stuff, there's so many ways to actually get them. It's like it's like Air Miles. There's just so many different ways you can do it, and I think do you know about all these different ways? No.
Yeah, I'm coming up on 12,000 points now, so I think that's a free month on Game Pass.
Or that's 12,000.
Yeah.
It's a free month. Okay, yeah. I was gonna ask about that. But okay,
but the thing is, if 3 months is like double that, so do you hold off, and it sort of it tempts you into actually holding on. But actually playing on the Kishi and whatnot on my iPhone, from what I have played,
all of one day,
all of what? Shut up. From what I have played, it is comparable to the other cloud services there, and by that I mean it plays as well. I am not talking about loading into games. I am not talking about the 1080 or 4K or things like that. I am talking about I can sit there and play a game, and it is not glitching. It is not lagging, and you can sit and play the game as intended. There's a couple of things I want changed. I want the SSDs, because that is just so noticeable for me straight off from having the Series X and playing on Stadia, playing on GFN. The load times, they need the SSDs in there. That is, if there was one change for me, the number one thing, it would be SSDs, and that is before even the Series X stuff or anything. Like, just get SSDs, and I think that would improve xCloud an order of magnitude better. Actually playing the games, I put a couple of wee videos up there which didn't go down well with a lot of people, where it was showing, yes, I was using different games because I didn't have all the same games on the different platforms. xCloud, when I played it yesterday, was the best from the 3 services I played for. That was Xbox, GeForce Now, and Stadia, and the order was Xbox closely, like, there was a wee tiny hiccup in GFM. We're talking like a millisecond, and that's what put that into second place. And in third place was Stadia, because that was just awful for a bit. This isn't me just saying this stuff just for a reaction. You can actually see the videos there, which I've put up. And I was just astounded that the quality was there on that.
Yeah, I found the same, and there does seem to. I don't know if, I mean, obviously, I know you've only had it for a day, as Kelly reminds you, but I don't know if you've noticed, but there does seem to be, in my experience so far, there's quite a bit of variance between the titles. The kind of, you can jump into one title and you kind of look at it, and it kind of. It pixelates a bit and kind of drops a little bit, and there's maybe not, it's not as well optimized for the cloud, but then you can jump into others and you can be like, wow, it's pretty much seamless. I mean, I jumped into Second Extinction yesterday. I know we were talking about this earlier, and I jumped into it on the PC on the browser, and I did the basic training because I'd read somewhere that it's kind of one of those games that's going to challenge you. So I thought, I'm going to do the training. I'm not just going to go straight into this.
I've learned.
And do you know what? Considering that is a game that is in game preview, so it's not even a game that's out in kind of full release. It is in in preview form. I was actually really impressed with how well it ran in the cloud. It was really responsive. But yeah, there is a variance, but my experience overall has been positive with it. I have enjoyed it, and a bit like you, Duncan, I just want to see that next step of it. Now I've got a little bit of a taste of it. I just want them to go, okay, there we go. Just have the rest.
But can I ask you something? Have you tested it on? You both have the Kishi, right?
Yeah.
And you both played that on the Kishi. I'm gonna, because I don't have a Kishi right now, and I'm still not into the web browser and anything like that. But I've seen the Android works much better than it before. But I have felt that the touch controller, not all games are good with touch controller, but I feel most of the game with touch controller is a slight better because I don't have to have the connected with a controller. I think there's some issues, little issue there, but not. It's going to be upgraded, but getting better. But have you had the same experience with playing with a control to a phone or to a and to? You can obviously put it into the web browser now, but you understand what I mean about this?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I mean, I to be honest with you, I haven't, because I've got the Kishi, I haven't used touch control at all. I literally just, expand it out, drop my phone in, and off I go. And certainly, the experience, particularly xCloud on mobile. I'm on Android, obviously Duncan's on iOS, and I've had no issues at all. I think there's a lot of people been saying this, but I think last week there was a marked step up or it feels like there was a marked step up in the quality. And I have noticed that. I noticed it on Android. There does seem to have been a step up there. And then as the week went on last week, xCloud did seem to kind of pick up. Obviously, I think I got in on the second day, when the kind of updates went out, or the invites, I should say. But then as the week has gone on, it does feel like the performance has kind of got stronger and then stabilized, and the experience does feel, pretty solid.
I did also see a little bit from the game Slack, a little bit around the xCloud, and they are really making focus on the option to only have play on your phone, and they have this option that you can customize to the little details on how you want to put your control setup on touch controllers. So they are really, really going into that market also with only play on your phone. I find that really interesting. I don't know if all the other cloud services are doing the same thing, but I think Xbox is probably leading in that direction. I in my opinion, after I saw the presentation, it looks really, really exciting. But I will go and get myself a Kishi soon.
See, the thing is, they are pushing the touch controls, and that's for. And I'm trying to word this nicely. It's there. People have been growing up without actually holding controllers. Their number one focus has been on a mobile phone. And if you want an example of what to do to just prove that, go ask a child to take a picture. And they just do it through the phone like that, where it is touch first is their way of experiencing things. For us older peoples and who have been growing up on controllers, I'm telling you now, if you get a Kishi, you do not want to go back to touch controls. It is even playing on this and tied to the mobile phone. I prefer the Kishi because you can it basically turns your phone into a Switch. And if you've got a bigger phone, I've got the super duper phone. Thank you, Kelly. I've got the super duper, the big iPhone Pro.
iPhone. I didn't see one of them at the conference last week.
iPhone 12 Pro Max, whatever it's called, the super duper version. And I'm telling you that I could sit and play games on that, and it just feels like a Switch, or just slightly smaller sort of Switch. And by just adding that adds so much. Regarding playing with this, me and Kelly both had a go with that very, very briefly yesterday, or was it today? Today we had a quick look at Sea of Thieves using that, and I thought the controller felt a bit floaty. The control, when you moved it, it was like overcompensating. It was like really spinning when you were moving, and I was looking to actually try and fix that. I couldn't actually see that. That was in Sea of Thieves, but I just need a bit more. But yeah, I think it's in beta, and what happens if you're in beta? You get eyeballs.
I was going to say, yeah, absolutely.
And I think I know we need to finish up here now, so I'll be very brief. I think Andy, unfortunately, can't be with us here tonight. I think he summed it up brilliantly this week on Twitter, or was it last week? It was over the weekend. What differentiates Xbox to GeForce Now, Stadia, and Luna is it is a supplemental service. If your games are not working on xCloud, it's your internet is stupid, and you can go back and fall back to your console. If you're primarily just playing GeForce Now or Stadia or Luna, if that's not working, the service is not working, and the service is stupid. It's not your internet. It is a key differentiator, and this is another reason why they're getting some more slack out there than other people. So I think it's maybe worth reiterating. And I'm just going to say, Kelly, we've been talking about Halo tonight.
Okay. We've been talking about Halo.
We have been talking about Halo, or did you forget about that?
I fell asleep.
I thought I heard the snores.
You're going to go.
I'm just gonna say a little bit about this with the phone. I saw a guy playing. He had dropped his console. He just going into the xCloud, and he connected his phone to his TV with this connector, and it run really well. And he put down the light on the phone to not use so much battery, and then when he used it, he used the 720p, but it run really well. But now it's going to get upgraded. You can just put this charger inside, and you can just plug it to your TV and just start playing. It looked really good on this TV. So there is options to play on your TV, but you have to go out to place, buy some small stuff to get it connected to your TV. But it's an option right now if you want to play on a TV. So yeah. So is there anything else we want to say? I was really hoping I was getting my web browser this week, but so yeah. Duncan, you have anything else to add to this? Your experience with xCloud?
I think we're entering a really, really, really exciting time in gaming. We've just came off talking about GeForce Now, and I've said the same thing there as well. You just do not know what is going to happen. Everything just changes so quickly, and the moves today by Microsoft dropping down the prices, what they sell or their commission for selling games on their PC store is going to have repercussions for not just their PC store but also Xbox as well. And I am excited to see how that is going to do it. Just to go back slightly here, this could either make Epic come a bit more closer to Microsoft, which I doubt because of the tie-in to Sony, or it could make them go even more competitive. And if they go competitive, Microsoft have to get competitive, and they're fighting again. And this is what we want.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you there about Epic Store if there is money to make on Game Pass, if they're gonna move something over there when they can see they can earn even more money. But there is deals going down all the time. Nothing is set in stone, so it's great for us. It is great for us. Competition is always good. So we getting a better.
Isn't it just that?
Yeah.
Well, ultimately, do you know that the great thing about it? You know, you mentioned competition, as did Duncan there. They actually need each other.
Yeah, it does.
They need each other because, in their own way, they push each other to make the moves and to advance, and that is an absolute wonderful place to be, in the fact that if you look in that gaming sphere, you've got so many people that want to push boundaries, bring more content, bring a better experience, and basically they're all sat there you know, as gamers, we're all juggling platforms. We're like, oh, I want to play that. I want to play this. I want to play that. But they're all pushing each other, and they need each other in order to thrive.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's a bright future, and I really hope that we're gonna get some great news next week for Xbox. There's always some good news coming down. So, guys, if we have not more to talk about, why don't we just say bye to the people here? And yeah, bye.
Bye.
Bye.